Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Summer is flying by right now, but we are here to catch the news of the week so that no one misses it. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, I'm joined by Nevada Current Deputy Editor April Corbin-Gurnis and my co-host Sarah Lohman, and we're looking at a new law letting construction start early in the morning, the efforts of the DOJ to get Nevada voter information, and a temporary mascot change by the Aviators that could be triggering. It's Friday, July 25th. I'm David Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Sarah and April, welcome to the Friday News Roundup.
Hey, happy Friday.
Good to see you both. And, you know, this is the time when we kind of take pause for the events of the week. Usually a hot headline emerges.
Hot headline. Nailed it.
You did. You got it right when I needed it. And so this is like just basically something that caught our eye. And we're like, what? We need to talk about this, but not in depth. Vegas hotels saw a steep decline. Las Vegas occupancy has fallen, and according to Travel Weekly, the revenue per available room, which is an important metric, plunged 28.7% in July. Here's a fun fact. The market's poor performance is so pronounced that it dragged down U.S. metrics. Las Vegas is the tail wagging the dog of hotel visitorship throughout this country, that if Las Vegas didn't have its bad numbers, then everything kind of would have been flat for the entire country. Instead, there was a decline. That backed up against the most recent data from the LVCVA showing that visitors to Las Vegas dropped 6.5% year over year. So I think the obvious fix here is to just give more money to the people running the LVCVA, right? They're doing such a bang-up job.
Seems like a great time to book a staycation. One.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
True.
I am seeing a lot of the hotels are announcing that they're dropping resort fees and giving packages to locals. So that could happen.
Love it.
And I do my digs at the LVCVA, but they take all the credit whenever numbers are up and none of the responsibility when numbers are down. So, I see how that works. All right, well, let's hit our first topic of the Friday News Roundup. Construction at 5 a.m. Sarah, that's too early, isn't it?
Well, yay.
Tell us what the law
nay.
is. Tell us what the law says.
No. So this is VA reporting with Fox 5 News. So there's a new law that immediately went into effect last month, and it allows construction to begin as early as 5 a.m. Previously, the noise ordinance was set to 7 a.m., so this is pushing it back to 5 a.m., but just from April 1st to September 30th, although that is fully half of the year. Of course, this is an effort to protect workers from extreme deadly heat so that they can begin work earlier before temperatures peak. But of course, they still have to work until the early afternoon. And for this start time to apply, the construction must be at least 300 feet away from an occupied home. So your neighbors are not allowed to start banging away. Wait, hang on. Your neighbor is on the...
What? Hello!
So your neighbors are not allowed to start like their construction on their addition at 5 a.m., but, it has to be at least 300 feet away. So, like I said, this was signed into law last month, and then an informational session was held, I guess to sort of allay maybe the concern and anger of certain neighborhoods. And it included testimony from construction workers, explaining why this new law was so desperately needed. And, they get all kinds of extra training from OSHA. Their employers are more liable. And, heat illness and heat death is a problem within Vegas. So, these are people working outside of the summer months that need a little extra care.
It's interesting to me how noise keeps coming up in different forms as a controversial subject in our city. We've definitely talked about it for the nightclubs down in the Arts District. So I guess there's a couple of different forces at play here. Is it ultimately a good thing or a bad thing to start construction at 5 a.m.?
I mean, it's definitely a bad thing if you are living next to a construction zone and it's going to wake you up. I mean,
301 feet away.
301 feet away. Depending on what type of construction, if it's a major project, you probably still can't hear it. And I think there have been some people who've gone to the news to say that they have been affected by it. And I'm sure that sucks. But given that the other side is people passing out in the heat and dying, it seems like a pretty good compromise,
This article from Fox 5 actually highlighted some responses from people in Lake Las Vegas who are living near the Three Kids Mine restoration project and building project, which is definitely more than 300 feet away, but people are noticing and weren't aware of the law change and are like, what's happening? Why they're starting before 7 a.m.? I mean, having lived in big cities, man, if you've got construction going on near you, you have to change your own schedule. And that is tough. Suddenly you're the one waking up at 5 a.m. because if you're not going to sleep anyway, you kind of have to work with them. I've also, though, worked in jobs throughout my teenage years and most of my 20s that were very very hot outdoor or unair-conditioned jobs over the summer. And we would have to get annual training from nurses on how to take care of ourselves and other people in the event of heat-related illnesses. I mean, to me, the solution would be like, what if construction was paused for June, July, and August, and we offered construction workers a stipend over this time? Like, why does it have to relentlessly continue through the dangerous summer months? Isn't that the solution that might make everybody happy?
So provocative that
I thought you were going to call me a socialist.
No, I'm just saying you're a provocateur because, Las Vegas is kind of knocked itself into this corner that if we aren't building, if we aren't constructing, then that clearly means we're dying.
So, and you're not wrong.
But I think what you're saying is really interesting and, should be in somebody's conversation about these things, especially construction is not just building stuff. It's also like the roadways.
Yeah, but the roadways, they do it overnight. Because,
do they, though? You see those cones all the time, everywhere.
The cones are up all the time, but the people are there overnight. But also, I'm from a place where there's a solid winter, and, you're not out there building shit in January in Northeast Ohio. You know what I mean?
You make a great point.
So other places pause during inclement weather. Why can't we?
Yeah, but if you look at, construction on roadways, which does happen overnight, they're not doing that for the convenience of us. That's also safer for them, so they don't have to work next to, cars that are driving fast and going to kill them. So it's the same concept here, where it's like, when is the safest, reasonable time for construction to happen during those months? And it is probably earlier. In the middle of the night, it's going to be darker. It's you know what I mean? That would be something that wouldn't be great. So I think it's a good compromise. And construction is, despite what it may seem, temporary, So whatever is happening near you at 5 in the morning.
That word temporary is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence
it can
there,
seem
April.
like an eternity for sure. But eventually it will end.
And then it'll be somebody else's problem. It's a roving problem that will move.
It is a roving problem. I mean, so that does beg the question, how do we find balance in a town that is always seemingly struggling to meet the needs of, the housing deficit and road improvements, et cetera, but also keep that quiet enjoyment of one's own home that we need to thrive as humans. I mean, do Las Vegans need to just suck it up and accept that this will be a perpetual part of our landscape? Construction noise isn't going anywhere, just like the heat's not going anywhere.
What if we just didn't build shit for 3 months?
Yeah, you're back on that. I get it.
That's all. That's all I could really think of. I do feel fortunate that I live in an older neighborhood, but I feel like saying that out loud is going to curse me somehow. There's not new construction going up.
But I don't even know that 300 feet is far enough away. That doesn't seem
not very far
for all
at
the
all.
beep beeps and the jackhammers.
Yeah.
I mean, if I hear a leaf blower
oh my
3
God.
blocks over, I'm already
maybe
angry.
the leaves could just stay where they are.
Why don't leaves just stay where they are? Do we even? I don't know.
They
All
should,
right.
honestly. It's better for bugs. Like, you're supposed to leave litter in your yard because also a lot of our native bees live in the soil. This is off topic, but yeah.
No, it's very interesting. Well,
leave the
look,
leaves where they
as
are.
Las Vegas is in a constant state of construction turmoil, pretty much on every visual plane, I appreciate that we are thinking a little bit more about workers and the safety. But you make a great point, Sarah. I think that's going to be the takeaway is like, do we actually need construction during our most extreme climate times? Or can we just take a little break and figure out how to make sure that the industry itself doesn't suffer or the town can still live?
Yeah.
Huh. You know how sometimes you just want to try something new, something local, special, maybe even a little inspiring? Well, that's Crush Pad Wine Bar. Crush Pad, it's a locally owned, award-winning wine bar created by a husband and wife team, both certified wine pros who believe wine should be fun, welcoming, and never pretentious. And on Saturday, July 26th, they're hosting their biggest event yet, the Grand Wine Tasting. It's going to be a beautiful evening of more than 25 wines poured by local wine experts. You get a grazing table of charcuterie, a take-home artisan goblet, live music, and it's all for a great cause, supporting the Nevada Ballet Theater. Tickets are $150, or you could go VIP for rare wines and early access at 6 p.m. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now at crushpadwinebar.com. That's crushpadwinebar.com. And hey, there's going to be a lot of wine involved, so be safe and consider taking a rideshare. Again, that's crushpadwinebar.com. Go check it out. Hey, Las Vegas, ever look for a sign of what to do? Well, here's one, literally. The Neon Museum is offering a limited time deal just for Nevada residents. 50% off admission to one of the most iconic must-see spots in the city. That's right, half off to explore Vegas history through the glow of vintage neon signs. Just swing by the box office, show your Nevada ID, and you're in. No promo codes, no online hoops to jump through, just a classic local appreciation deal. Make it a night with friends, bring visiting family, or finally check it off your Vegas bucket list. Visit the Neon Museum and let the lights of old Vegas shine for you. Now, this dazzling deal won't last forever, so grab your tickets now and experience the glow before it's gone. Again, to apply the discount, just bring your Nevada State ID card to the Neon Museum and purchase your ticket at the door. To learn more, visit neonmuseum.org. One ticket per valid ID. All right, well, let's move on to subject number 2. The Department of Justice under the Trump administration. They are requesting Nevada voter rolls and all the information about our voters. That seems unusual, April. Is this something we should be concerned about? What's the story here?
Yeah, so Nevada is one of at least 9 states that have received letters from the U.S. Department of Justice seeking voter registration lists and other voter and election information. Colorado seems to have gotten the most sweeping requests. They're asking for like all records related to the 2024 election. So that could mean ballots and like things.
What?
But Nevada hasn't gotten, as far as we know, and has been reported, Nevada hasn't gotten that many requests, but we know that Nevada was asked to provide information on active and inactive voter registration lists, as well as details on how dead people, non-citizens, and voters who have moved out of state are identified and removed from voter rolls. So the Trump administration has not said explicitly what it plans to do with this information, but we do know that Trump has routinely talked about mass voter fraud, despite there being no evidence of that happening in either 2020 or 2024. And then more recently, in March, Trump directed the U.S. Attorney General to seek information about suspected election crimes and has threatened to withhold grants and other funding from states that refuse to cooperate. That executive order also attempts to require proof of citizenship to vote. And
sounds like
also,
blackmail.
also requires that all mail ballots be received by Election Day, which is, again, a big voter issue. That executive order is being challenged in court. So with all of that context, nonpartisan voting rights advocates and academics who sort of follow this stuff are very concerned about what this could all be leading to.
Well, what could it all be leading to? I mean, April, the materials that they have asked for, a lot of it seems to already be public record. So why the hubbub, bub?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a bit of showmanship here, right? I mean, there's a bit of I am asking for this, so I am like they're proving to their own voter base and their constituents that care about this stuff that we're trying to get something done. Like it seems more like you're being proactive if you go out and ask and you demand the Secretary of States to do this rather than going and filing a request like anybody could do. So I think there's a bit of that. But also, as I said, and you alluded to it, Sarah, this sort of like threat of a blackmail or not a black, that you're forcing.
We won't give you money unless you cooperate with us.
This extortion sort of thing or whatever, where, they're asking for this information. And then if, the Trump administration finds one dead person on the voter rolls here in Nevada, he can go and say, look at Cisco Aguilar and this fraud that he is doing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's all about a show and a narrative that they're trying to form rather than.
And so then what? Like Nevadans won't be allowed to vote in the next presidential election?
No, he's just justifying his stance all along, despite the fact that here in Nevada, and, I believe that Cisco Aguilar, our Secretary of State, has been very transparent and not always saying what, the party base for the Dems want him to say, but that this has been, repeatedly scrutinized, and there is no evidence of this. So the fact that they're like, well, check again, because if we find anything, we're going to show that you're a liar and that we were right?
And also, elections are funded partially at the state level, but they receive a lot of federal money also to update things and do that too. So, if the federal government decides to withhold money from states related to elections, that could cause a lot of problems at the local level in terms of running our elections, which means you could, if you want to go on the conspiracy train, could lead to them saying, you know what, we're not going to validate any of your stuff. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope in terms of what could be done if you wanted to, if the administration wants to.
A swing state, and all the metrics are showing that we are going to have a pretty important role in the next two elections. So this amount of scrutiny, though, makes me uncomfortable because it doesn't feel like helpful scrutiny. It feels threatening. It feels like, okay, if Nevada votes matter, we're going to do anything we can do to repress them.
Yeah, it's a show of force. It's like, we still have power over here. So, we're watching you. But again, Cisco Aguilar was on this very podcast. He answered some very hard questions. And, I came away from that interview having ultimate confidence in the integrity of our election. And this kind of poking and prodding does seem in many ways to be a weird distraction to satisfy a MAGA base, I think, that, doesn't believe that somehow Donald Trump could have lost in 2020.
But he won this last election. So
I know, but I don't know why they won't let it go and move forward. I have some theories. Here's the thing. It seems like voter fraud issues are dead. The GOP has won handedly in this last election. Like, apparently, it's all fixed from their perspective. So I don't understand what this play is in the theater of public concern here. Is it just justifying that everything they've ever said was always right, and you have to just believe them moving forward? And
it's also, we think we might lose the midterms next year. It could be a play for, we think that, Donald Trump, unless he, bends the rules again, is not supposed to run for president again, so we can contest the next election. It's always about, they may have won 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start sowing the seeds of distrust for 2028.
So the elections are only fixed when Republicans lose.
I don't know. This is just grievance porn to a certain degree to me, and I just hope it's not costing the taxpayers of Nevada any extra funds to comply with these ridiculous requests for information, unless they could give a reason why they need this information. Is there stuff they could do with some of this voter roll material they're asking for, April, that theoretically could be not good for our state or our citizens?
Yeah, I mean, if you pair, there's been no, let me be clear, there's been no evidence that this has happened yet or whatever, but it's very plausible, I think, that given the Trump administration's push for immigration, that somebody could look at a record at a voter roll and say, hey, this person with a very common name, a David Gonzalez or something, it says that he voted, but this David Gonzalez over here is not a citizen. And somebody could decide that that's the same person and, deport that man, even though he didn't vote, even if it's a different person. Because we've seen, problems with the Trump administration doing things without due process and without actually sort of crossing its T's and making sure they're following the law. So they can do whatever they want with the information. They can accuse people of doing things, and they can also scare people into doing things. So there's a lot of fear that I think is sort of warranted given the history of the Trump administration so far.
I guess all eyes on Colorado, see what's going on over there, and Nevada probably, learning lessons in how we respond and what happens with this information. Definitely something to keep an eye on, as so many things are.
This episode of CityCast is sponsored by Babbel. Learning a new language opens the door to new friends, new cultures, maybe even a whole new life. So why not start that journey today? You can start speaking a new language with confidence thanks to Babbel's conversation-based technique that quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things you actually talk about in the real world. I'm CityCast CEO David Plotz, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel. Just one of the 12 languages you can learn with it, including Dutch, French, Italian, which is going to be next for me, Turkish, and Russian. I love the interactive dialogues that Babbel has, which allow me to practice what I've learned right away, and also the speech recognition function, which makes sure I'm getting the pronunciation just right, which honestly, usually I'm not. Also, I love that Babbel's lessons always cover actual things that I talk about in the real world, like food, talking to people I've just met, and also food. Staying motivated to learn a new language has never been easier thanks to real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations, in only 10 to 15 minutes a day on Babbel's mobile app or website. So get talking with Babbel. I want you to learn another language, so I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
All right, let's move on to our third topic, which is supposed to be our fun topic for the week, and I think it is, but it's going right back to the construction nightmare. Hear me out. The beloved Las Vegas Aviators, our AAA baseball team, are going for a rebrand. This is just temporary, and they do this every now and again, and this is one of the fun things I love about the Aviators, is that they will take on what they call alternate identities for promotional nights. And it's always fun. They've been the Las Vegas Gamblers. They've been the Las Vegas Belly Busters. They have a what's called a Copa de la Diversión identity as Reyes de Plata. And I have some of the very, very cool merch from when they went that way, very Day of the Dead looking stuff. But this time around, they are going to have a night out as the Las Vegas Cone Jesters. To visualize that, it's basically a traffic cone, which I think everyone right about now calls our actual state flower, with a little jester hat on it and a grimace. It's hilarious looking. It's a one night only. It's going to be on August 15th. Well, here's the thing. The merch is already up. It's adorable. One of the sports jerseys looks like a reflective vest of people working in the street to divert
That's
traffic.
cute.
It's fun.
The little cone mascot is very cute, too. It's like a little anthropomorphized traffic cone.
It's a one-off, as they do sometimes, but it might come back. I think it's actually going to be quite popular. It's clever, so good on the Aviators. Okay, so here are kind of two questions. Number one, with the A's allegedly headed to Las Vegas for Major League Baseball, what do you think the role of these cheeky Aviators are going to be? I mean, is there a chance that the A's will benefit from such a great foundation of the AAA team out in Summerlin? Or could the A's just overshadow it and our poor Aviators fade away? What do you guys think?
Well, question, since they're both the A's, will the Aviators have to become like a lowercase a, since they're the minor league team? Will they have to become an A minor?
Oh, that's funny. They are
Thank
the
you. You
farm
always
team.
know you said something really funny when someone says that's funny instead of
Yeah,
laughing.
no, that is funny. But they are, they're affiliated with the A's, at least for now. So there is a connection between the two, but
They
they
are
still
like a minor
operate.
league team. Do they?
They are the A's minor league team, yes,
Okay,
but
that's
they
what I was
do
gonna ask.
operate independently, if you will.
Have they always been the A's minor league team?
The answer is no. They
That's
have
what I
been.
thought.
They switch around the table a lot in the minor leagues. I mean, we've been the Padres. I think that's where we started.
Okay.
There was a short time when I think they were the Dodgers, even the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
They
bounce
have
around.
contracts with teams, and then when those contracts end, they sometimes move to other teams.
Yeah.
But
And we've changed names a bunch too. We used to be the Stars, and then we were the 51s, and now we're the Aviators.
That's a cool one, the
yeah.
51.
I think the biggest problem for the Aviators with the Athletics moving, the A's aside, is the fact that the Aviators play in what's called Las Vegas Ballpark, which, like any normal person, is just going to think Las Vegas Ballpark, and they're going to think of the big one that's on the strip. So we might need to consider renaming that one, I think. Sorry,
oh, no, the
LVCVA.
LVCVA already spent like $80 million on those naming rights to call the stadium in Las Vegas the Las Vegas Stadium.
They can spend more. Revenue is up. Wait, no, it's not.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry. I don't always want to bag on it. It's just a very big governmental agency that has been way more high profile in the last few years. So obviously they're going to get some chatter. What do you think some other name changes, even one-offs, should be for some of our local sports teams to consider? That's a fun way to end this one.
Well, I do think that once the A's come into town, the Aviators should do a day where they are the A minors.
There you go. You got it.
There it
Okay,
is.
I'm laughing again. For real. Wow. There's a lot to unpack with that joke there,
There
Sarah.
is. Yeah.
It can be music themed. It can be Kendrick themed. It can be people could wear really cute, like boot cut, light wash denim, you know, as part
Oh
of the
my
theme.
gosh. Yeah. What do you got for me, April? What's the one-offs for some of our sports teams to change their mascot?
I don't know if I can do better than A minors because honestly, that's brilliant. I think in the name of corporate sponsorship, which is a big thing here in the state of Nevada, I think we should, partner with CES or whoever and all those big conventions. And for like the week that CES is here, we become the Bitcoins or something stupid like that. I think we should.
That actually hurt my insides.
You like that one?
Why don't we just ask AI to come up with a name?
No, I'm not going there.
And a
I don't
logo.
want my job to be replaced. Although I'm guessing their puns are going to be a lot better than mine. I was trying to come up with a play off the Vegas Golden Knights. Maybe the Vegas Golden Days, and they would just celebrate sort of daytime culture in Las Vegas. I don't know. That's dumb. Maybe Vegas Golden Slumbers, and it could be a Beatles themed.
Oh, that's nice.
Our producer, Sony Cho Swanson, says that the Las Vegas Aces could be the Las Vegas Braces, and they could celebrate all things awkward middle school. Okay, that's the winner. We don't need
Sponsored by
AI.
a dentist's office.
Cute.
Sponsored by dental offices.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
We need
everyone, and
revenue,
they would give
guys,
out,
all right?
They would give out branded toothbrushes, but also, like, I don't know, what else was awkward about middle school?
Everything.
Everything.
Braces.
Training
Right.
bras.
There'll be zit cream.
Periods.
Periods.
Sure. We get it all. All right. Hey, any sport team want to take any of those ideas from us for a rebranding night? It's yours and worth every penny you paid for it. Well, that brings us to the end of the Friday News Roundup, my friends. Sarah Lohman and April Corbin-Gurnis, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I work here. I'll be back.
Yeah, you do. Well, and not only do you work here, but a lot of our neighbors, which is the name of our membership program, are big fans of yours, Sarah Lohman. They wanted me to give you a shout out. I saw some at a recent membership event. Sarah, one of the benefits, one of the perks of being a neighbor is that you get to do a shout out to your favorite local businesses or agencies. You want to run through a few that some of our neighbors have submitted to us?
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed everyone on Wednesday. It looked like a lot of fun. I am on the road.
We were at the Las Vegas distillery where we got a tour and some samples.
Which is so close to where I live. Yeah. And I'm so sick of, as I said many times, having to travel all the way across town to hang out with David Figler in frickin' the Arts District. And I missed out on the event that was in my neighborhood. So I'm so sorry, members, my neighbors. I'll see you next time, I promise. So in the meantime, we've got some shout outs for other small businesses and organizations out and about town. Bonnie B loves Crush Pad Wine Bar. Oh, they're one of our advertisers, too. I've heard so many good things about them.
Yeah, they just won the Las Vegas Weekly Best Of Award, just like we did for Best Podcast.
Just like us. She loves them for their incredible selection and fabulous staff. Ginger Bee, I think you know a Ginger Bee, David Figler.
There are a lot of Ginger Bees. I don't know if that's our Ginger Bee. Could be.
Well, it is. It is your Ginger Bee. I have to start again.
My bandmate.
Ginger Bee of Tippy Elvis fame has a shout out for Los Dos Amigos at Charleston and Brush. In particular, she wants to shout out their tortillas and their vegan offerings. She adds, yes, they have a liquor license, and then put in one of the old school keyboard smiley faces that's like a really happy guy, like,
I'm drinking.
Debbie W. gives big ups to the Sahara West Library and their wonderful free programming for all ages. The staff is marvelous, very friendly. Seriously, we have incredible libraries in the Valley. The programming is so good and so diverse, too. I'm glad that Rob includes so much of it in the newsletters, too. So if you too would like to shout out your favorite local business or org, you can become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. And you get to come along on cool events like the distillery tour that we did this week.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. Our executive producer is Sonia Cho Swanson. Our producer is Layla Muhammad. Our newsletter editor is Rob Coucheries. And our hosts are Sarah Lohman and me, David Figler. Music is by OG Moose, All the Kimonos, as well as Spring Gang and Kit and the Cowtones, courtesy of Epidemic Sound. We record the show on the traditional homelands of the Nuufi, the Southern Paiute people. If you enjoyed the show, please go tell a friend, rate our show with the stars and such, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Las Vegas. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Till then, stay lucky. You know what's punk? Taking your dog for a walk and forgetting to bring the bags.
Oh, did you hear the poop in your hand?
No.
Is that the poop?
That's the poop bags. Now I have.
I'm glad that made you laugh, April.
All the time.
Yeah.
No, I have to go back out and gather.
Find the poop.
Yes. I'm not going to pick up poop with my hand.
I don't know. I don't have a dog.
That would be punk.